Traders, welcome back to another Relentless recap. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are enjoying the content, be sure to leave a like, and of course, if you're a new viewer at the end, consider subscribing to the beautiful channel. Guys, today was all about two stocks, GCT and VERU. Don't ask me why I just said that. Okay, let's jump right into the recap, guys. So, GCT, this one, we didn't really get to trade because we were occupied by VERU. Now, that being said, this stock was still pretty impressive. It started off into the open a little shaky, selling off, but ultimately was strong. If we look at that pre-market charting on the 5-minute, you guys will see that, down here, we'll see that it came up nicely pre-market, nice move, pull back, nice move, pull back, nice move, pull back, nice move. And then we pulled back here into the open. It then does the red to green. Curls back up nicely, breaks over VWAP. And I thought it was a little tricky. I didn't trade it, but just looking at the charting, some of these topping wicks I felt like was just a little, difficult maybe to deal with. But it was strong, and I know a few of you guys probably got in early, rode the momentum here to the upside. It pulled back, bit of an ABCD right here, held the VWAP, and absolutely, down here it held well, and absolutely took off, man. It just ripped. Beautiful breakthrough here, up to 686, consolidate sideways, and it does give a false breakout here. This was a little disappointing. We would have wanted to see this flag break out and go higher, but it ultimately failed. It did come down and hold the pre-market highs. Where's this trend line coming? Pre-market high is 671. If we zoom out here in the 1 minute, right? We got to show the 3 minute some love as well. Let's zoom in over here. 671. And then it rips. It absolutely takes off. Takes off, guys. And, maybe we can get rid of the show trades future on one of these charting with the lower increments, just to show you guys how crazy the move was over here. It rips, bottoming wick, takes off, gets to a high of 732, dips down to a low of 713, and then it rips again to 748. And this flag ultimately fails as well. So both of our flags, right, these are beautiful bull flags. Let's get rid of this one here. This is a smaller flag that I had on the 1 minute where I thought a breakout was going to happen, but it failed right there. Then went up again and then pulled back. So, this bigger flag, we look at it on the bigger picture, this one also failed. So, our bull flags didn't really give, the opportunities we would have wanted. Ultimately, we would want to see these green candles come right here. That would be ideal if we would have had something that, went like this. Big green, another green like this, and, maybe another push. Instead, it rejects, holds, and then curls up. But this is still pretty good, though. We can work with this when it happens. So that was GCT. Initially I was down 90 bucks. I thought this one was going to be the stock of the day. So I had, full size ready to go. 3,000 share blocks. Very early. First 1 minute candle to make the new high at 646. It rips to 657. It dips. I take 48 right here. Watching for the retest of the highs. It does not happen. It just goes lower. You can see this huge red candle here. Thankfully, I didn't hold it. I stopped out for a small loss. It's down 90 bucks right here. And over a couple of scalps in this side of things, we made back some money. So 40 bucks here on a small trade, just 1,000 shares. I was using only 1,500 share blocks at this point because I felt like this stock might have been a little too spready, a little too much range. Whenever there's selling pressure, it would drop 8 to 10 cents, and I thought, hey, maybe 2,500 or 3K shares might be a little too aggressive. Also in part, I was not looking at it. So, a lot of these stocks are trading, and they have their own personalities. Small things that you'll notice if you're watching the stock exclusively. Being that I'm watching the other one, and that one had more of my attention. Didn't want to push it and go too aggressive, but we did see some winning trades. We caught a pullback, we caught some scalps, and we were able to make some money. We did have some losing trades here towards the end, I believe. But yeah, that's how it goes. So that was GCT, a beautiful move. I would say today was a victory for the Bulls. We actually got some decent momentum before the backside of the move. VERU. This is the one we did the best on. We're at 1300 on this thing. You know, pre-market it was moving up well, you know, hitting the Momo scans. And I said, you know what, man? You know, every day starts the same, right? Starts off with this Momo scan right here. It was hitting the scans. I'm like, you know what, man? Let's check it out. Let's see how this thing is doing. And from there, we pull it up. We do our due diligence. And, you know, funny enough that this stock is a former runner. It was in play. And so we had a lot of trend lines already drawn out. And so I kept my same trend lines. And I just started watching. Hey, what is this thing going to do? How strong is it going to be? And so it started off with a beautiful green candle. Now, granted, we did have a topping wick, but this green candle wasn't bad. I started off the day down 500 though, trying to buy this dip. I got in low, it went lower. So I got out and got back in lower. You know, I spoke about this, I believe, last week, Wednesday or Thursday, where I mentioned I had a day that I could have done well, but I wasn't willing to get back in on the lower levels. Because nobody can time these stocks. We cannot time the breakout. We cannot time the dips. We just have to use our best educational guess, you know, in terms of price action, trend lines, indicators, and everything else that goes, you know, because, you know, VWAP might be right here at, you know, 1272, but we don't stop at VWAP. We go as low as 1214 before this bounces. And I bought at 58, stopped out for a loss, bought at 48, stopped out for a loss. And then I finally got back in at 19, and this is where I caught the first decent trade. I'm in at 19, I'm out at 44 and 32, and you know, from red to green right here. So that's how the day started for me, and you know, then I got back in lower here, and I botched trades, man. This trade here had the potential to be a really good trade, man. I'm in the low of this candle is 12.19, so I'm basically in at the bottom of this pullback, right? This is this red candle that we're seeing right here. I'm in at the bottom of this pullback. It pops up to a high of like 35. So initially I'm like, man, this thing is coming back down to sell off. I don't know where the low is going to be, so I'm like, okay, I got to get out. Came out for like 5 cents of gain, or 3 cents of gains. It goes lower to 17, and it curls back up fast. This green candle here was a little aggressive in my opinion. So I didn't buy back, and it goes from 12.20 back to a height of 12.70. That would have been 50 cents to this point. Then it goes to a high of 12.98 before dipping. So I essentially missed out on 80 cents on 2,500 shares right here. This trade, if you guys watch this on the live stream, it was so close, man. And you know, maybe I would have sold 1,500 shares at like 12.50, 12.60 and sold something early. But you know, even if I had made a total of like, you know, 50 cents, you know, it would have been a $1,200 trade. This trade in itself would have been a $1,200 trade. But, you know, it just was just so unfortunate, man. And, oh, man, it happens. But anyhow, moving on. The low of this area here was 62. We got long at 68. We're in. We're selling higher, 77, 72. And then 13. Let's see, we tried to scalp it here. I want to check this out. Let's look at some of these sells. We're selling at 84, 81, 88, and 75. Let's see. 2,500 at 57. 2,500. What time was this trade here? We can go and check in the monitor screen, I think. This is at 9:43. 9:43. We're in at 68. Okay, we stopped out for a loss of 4 cents. But then we're back in at 57, lower entry. So this, what happened right here is what should have happened here. But I never bought back. I never bought back, and that was a disappointing thing. And by the way, this sell of 500 shares is nonsense. I gotta stop doing that. It doesn't make any sense. Or what is the point of selling for 10 cents of gain in this type of trade? It doesn't make it's foolish, to be honest. So and you guys will notice that I've done this, or in the last week and a half, I've done this like 3 days out of those last 7-8 days. It's madness to sell 500 shares at 31. I should not be selling this position until it gets to like 50, 60, 70, and so forth. So in this case, you guys will see I'm in at 57. Instead of selling at 67, at least I wait a little bit here, which is a little bit better. Sold some at 75, 81, 84, 88, and then 77. So this is a great trade. We attempted a scalp. It doesn't work. We're back in on a dip at 05, coming out at 40. This particular trade, I should have took 1,000 share minimum. I got in 500 shares because I was very uncomfortable with how the stock was pulling back, and I thought there was a chance it might have failed. This is at 955, but at the same time, I knew if I wasn't in and that we did pull back and had a bottom already, I would have missed the trade. So I just took 500 shares, because if I take a loss at 500 shares, it means nothing. Likewise, so at least the win, I feel like the win is more significant than the loss in that situation, because if I lose 20 cents, it's $100. But if we make 20 cents, at least we made something, which is better than nothing. I don't know. It's a weird psychology of looking at winners versus losers with the smaller size in a higher risk area like that. It's hard to explain that type of psychology. But anyhow, so we took that trade right here at 43, well, 55 rather. And we sold into the highs. It pulled back. It continued going. And so, it was this cycle of trying to buy a little low, selling a little high, scalping where I can. Like, this stock isn't a good stock to showcase my scalping abilities, though. This one is more so laid back. It was strong, but laid back. The stocks that are good for scalping, they're very active and they're very quick. Let's say the stock is at $14. We'll see. We'll go from 14 to 14.70. Then maybe it drops to 14.40. It holds. It retests 14.70. Maybe it holds high. It rips through 70 to 14.90. Break of 15. It keeps going. It's like that is such like a fast pace. Like the scalps require a fast paced stock that is strong and that is going up, pulling back, holding its level, and going up fast. Big breakouts, short time frames. Not saying that this stock didn't have that at all, but it wasn't necessarily made for that. So I was up 1,500. I did give back something off the top over here. It started to curl back up, and man, it started to curl back up. I think I missed this area here, so I wasn't able to get any trades in there. I tried to get a few scalps in going up. It did not work out well. You can see I'm in at 74, out at 67. I'm in at 63, out at 65, in at 60, out at 58. Didn't really get to see any good scalps. I think I took a loss somewhere. This though, I will say, was I didn't really give back too much, but what I'll say is that this was my last best trade. Everyone in the Discord, well, not everyone, can't say it like that, but a few people in the Discord took this trade on this big flush. For me, I was watching in volume. High of day volume was at 3 million up here. These green candles. We pulled back, and for the longest, we were pulling back with really light volume. So when this breakout started, I'm like, okay, we're coming up with 1.4, which is a little higher than what we saw in this drawdown area here. So when I see the red candles pulling back with lighter volume than what we had in the volume going up, I'm like, okay, this pullback probably is going to be safe. There's no way of guaranteeing it, but I'm like, probably. Right here on this candle, I was watching it. Let's zoom back out. Right here, I was watching it, man. Let's also show our 3 minutes some love. I was watching it right here. But in this bottom wick, but I didn't really get a chance. It was, did I buy? No, it doesn't look like I bought. Actually, hold on. What was the low right here? 1530. And you'll also realize that 1530 was basically our previous high of day, right? Previous high of day on our 3 minute chart, we had a high of 1540, 1533, 1534, 1549. So when it comes down right here, it's a perfect entry at 1530. I forgot why I didn't take it. I don't know why in the world I didn't take it, to be honest. When I look back, it always angers me that I didn't take it. And what's gonna happen to me here? This time I took it. Same thing that happened to me in the first trade of the day on this dip. 2,500 shares. The way how I got stopped out is exactly how I got stopped out right here. I'm in at 33. It pushes to like 38, and I notice, it wants to go lower. It goes lower, and it's on me for not getting back in or just holding the freaking trade. So it goes down to a low of 30, only 3 cents. And then over the next minute, it's back at 60, 69, and then 70. Could have made it, 30 cents, 20 cents, something. Which, with this size, would have equated to, anywhere from 300 to, like, let's say $600. But yeah, that was the day, guys. That was the day. GCT, VERU, SPRC was on the watch list. Didn't really hold up well. It did curl up nicely here, but wasn't able to hold its levels. We had ORGS, which was more so of a maybe. This one was lower in the gap scan. Did not hold up at all. Completely sold off. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you did enjoy the recap. It's been Relentless Trader. As mentioned, hit that thumbs up button if you did enjoy. If you're a new viewer, consider subscribing. Be sure to check out the links down below for the Discord, the Instagram, and Facebook page, as well as for Mometic, which is the scanning software that I use to get all these beautiful hot stocks. Guys, be sure to check it out. DWAC is worth mentioning. This one did give a move. DWAC, ARQQ, I didn't really follow that one. VERU, OYST, PHUN, which was moving in sympathy with DWAC, and so forth. Yeah, so guys, be sure to check it out. You'll see GCT is a little more down on the list. At this point, all the stocks kind of sold off a little bit. But anyhow, yeah. It's been Relentless Trader, guys. I hope you did enjoy. Check out those links once again. Hit that thumbs up. Stay safe, stay green. I'll see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning around 8:50, 9 a.m. Eastern time for another beautiful day in the markets. I am, of course, signing out.